is a palm. Now this one is a pygmy date palm, so it might not look the same as some of the lulav that you can purchase. But the symbolism of the palm is of the spine. Does this look like my spine? Maybe. Nice and straight up with ribs going out. The palm represents aligning our spines, or our will, our intention, with the will of God. And in a congregational sense, do you think this is a person who has knowledge or deeds, some of both, or neither? Now, the fruit of it tastes good, but it doesn't have a smell. So that means that there's knowledge, but very few good deeds or mitzvot to go along with it. 1 Corinthians 6, verses 19 through 20, it reminds us that our body is a temple of the Ruach HaKodesh. We were purchased by Yeshua for God. So our bodies do not belong to us anymore. They belong to God, and we need to honor Him with every part of us. And this is our etrog, or a lemony sort of etrog. The etrog represents our heart, and in a congregational sense, it represents a person who has both a good taste and a good smell. That's someone who has knowledge and good deeds. That's a beautiful thing. Now, Jeremiah 17:9 says that our hearts are desperately wicked. But in Deuteronomy 30, verse 6, we can ask God to circumcise our hearts, to take away the wicked parts of it, and to remake us in His image so that we can choose life. And in Jeremiah 31:33, He promises that He will write His law on our hearts. And here's the willow. In an individual sense, the willow represents the mouth. And it means we need to be careful with how we use our words. Because words can either create, as Adonai created the entire world with the spoken word, but words can also destroy, because the things that we say that hurt other people's feelings can be very destructive. So we need to make sure that our words are kind and clean, not unkind or unclean. In a communal sense, for a congregation, the willow represents people who do not have the knowledge or the deeds. They don't know scripture and they're not doing mitzvot. Well, that's not being fruitful or productive, is it? No, not at all. And in Psalm 19, verse 14, Adonai says, "May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, my Lord, my rock, and my Redeemer." So the willow reminds us that we need to know the word and do the word. And for the poor willow, of whom it is said, does neither know the word nor do the word, the good news is the willow is planted by the living water. Remember, the living water represents Yeshua, and the power of Yeshua in us through the Ruach HaKodesh can transform a tree without taste or smell, a tree without faith or good works, into something that does have taste and smell, something that knows the word and does it. And here's a myrtle. The myrtle smells good, but has no taste. That's like a person who has good deeds but very little knowledge. The myrtle also is shaped like an eye. So it is symbolic of our eyes. And what Psalm 119:37 says is, "Turn my eyes away from worthless things. Preserve my life according to your words." Then we bring it all together. 1 palm, 2 willow, 3 myrtle, and our etrog. So we're showing unity of purpose in our individual selves and in our communities. And then we say the blessing, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat lulav. And then we wave it to the front and to the back and to the sides and up and down. And I like to do it with a dance, but that's for another day. Shabbat shalom.